Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. The fuck about it? Your test.
Get lost!
Yeah? The Kingdom of Kuno? Yeah, whatever. Kuno.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground, and you're 180? Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to do something more? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Even if it isn't, no one told you.
That's not how physics work, Detective. And even if it were, wouldn't you need some kind of apparatus? A teleportation field or... Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
He is restraining himself from using a parental tone with you right now. All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is... Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle! It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Okay, well, that's impressive, but...
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it, like a regular person.
No, not like a regular person. Like a phase spider. The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear...
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components. Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system. The how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know. The why is easy, because they hadn't come up with modern silicon-based systems yet. For vitreous cast filament memories, though, these seem incredibly advanced. Now that you've acquired some stimulants, it's time for a little pick-me-up. Time to detect. It'll make you into more than that. A mega cop. This is your modus operandi. This is how you've done it for years. Let's go. See? That's your problem. A lack of confidence. Speed can help you with that. It can help you with everything. It's not ideal, no, but you need the zeal. Let's face it, you're never going to finish this case without cheating. You raise the bottle, close a nostril, and inhale furiously. The rush is almost immediate. It tastes bitter and caustic and stings a bit inside your nose. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity, your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks out across your brow. Your jaw clenches. And, let's be honest, there's a little chest pain. The good kind, of course. You may want to blast a nosophed or something. You could work with this high. Like, literally work. Solve the case. File some papers. Maybe clean up your hostel room. Then solve another case. Then start a side investigation into the paranatural. Then build a radio computer. Whoa, this shit is strong. This shit is disco. To this? You kidding? There are downsides to not being on it. There are massive downsides. It's a potent neurotoxin. You're turning yourself into a frayed idiot. Spring. Everything is clear around you. You're ready to concentrate on the next task in the task chain.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a speed button. Speed gives +1 to motoric skills. Perception, reaction speed, hand-eye coordination, savoir-faire, interfacing, and composure.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain like you've never felt before. The static overcomes you. The darkness takes over as you feel yourself slipping into an unknown mute state. Cop dies under the boardwalk. An officer of the RCM, hot on
Our tenant, the policeman. What more do you want to know about that poor girl? I don't know.
It's a peninsula.
You'll never...
I wouldn't.
This is a cool moment. It needs a cool thing to be said.
Are you sure?
The felled electric mural. It's getting late, and
Good night, Ophi.
on the table you see a
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning south.
Oh yes, she does. Now that you've acquired some it'll make you into. See? That's your It's not ideal. No. You raise the bottle. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity. Your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. A sweat breaks out across your brow. Your jaw clenches. You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw. All you feel is cop suffer. Now that it'll make you see? It's not ideal. You raise the bottle, close a nostril, and inhale. Now the taste is slowly receding into your throat. The rush is growing in intensity. Your little heart pounding like a bird in a cage. And, let's be honest, there's a little chest pain. You could work with this high. Like, literally work. Whoa, this shit is to this. There are massive springs.
In the bottom... Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Oh yes, she does.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel...
Oh yes, she...
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it.
Oh yes, she does.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel...
You think she really needs more of that after a man died at sea? What if I told you it is actually possible to go on a date sober? Before recorded history, men and women were able to do simple, very primitive things together sober. Acknowledge the situation and keep it basic.
I have, and I don't really.
Now, go for it. You just want to go for a walk. What kind of a monster doesn't want to go for a walk? Walks are innocent.
Just a walk? I don't know, officer. I would not have taken you for an innocent perambulator. Where would this walk take us, officer?
Nothing creepy, strange, or out there. Keep it eerie and simple.
All right, I will walk with you. But you need to understand that nothing is going to happen. We're just walking. Yes, someone could get pushed in the water. Maybe even get laughed at. But I'm sure that's not going to happen. All right, I'll go put the kids to bed and we'll meet at Land's End in 15 minutes.
She doesn't wait for an answer. You better get ready. It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time. The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth. Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer. There's no echo and no answer. There's some tear. You see, it's hard to concentrate. An old door, worn by elements, guards the... Just dead and dying. Poor thing. The woman gazes steadily at the waves. A sudden gust picks up her dark hair and lets it fall again, tousled, wild. She brushes a few stray locks from her eyes, and only then spots you approaching.
Aye, so here you are. It's late and the sun is going down. It'll be dark soon. Know that you're not the first guy to bring a girl to Land's End. This is what the locals call a make-out spot. That is not going to happen here today. I just want to make that clear, Dimples.
Across the rusty water, that's La Delta, the financial district. In the mist-covered distance, towers rise as a rebuke to the poverty of this coast.
Drinking men aren't known for keeping their appointments. The world? Those big words men like to throw around as though they had weight. Let's just admire this piece of the world we happen to have in front of us, eh?
As she turns to face the sun, reflected in the waves, and the skyscrapers rising across the bay, you cannot help following her steady gaze. You should say something, anything. Maybe the tequila sunset thing.
It's a common Revacholian expression. Means drinking yourself to death. Oh, indeed. And what about you? Keeping the name? Well then, Harry.
The remains of the dying sun are reflected in the waves and the skyscrapers rising across the bay. Your mind clears for a moment as your senses take it all in. Not just the glass skyscrapers, fragile looking in the shimmering air. River Esperance flowing into the bay.
Isn't it strange for this all-powerful thing, the sun, to be so generous towards us? You know, the best time to go out fishing is usually towards sunset, when
The sun also falls on the Capeside tenements and war-torn ruins. An old sea fortress juts out, seemingly impervious to the sheen cast over everything else, shaking you out of your reverie. The sun isn't always that great. Think of people living in desert climates with sparse vegetation and little drinking water.
Oh, that was a bit of pride and a bit of superstition.
And a bit of conceptual unity too, it being yellow and all.
Now you're just nitpicking. But I concede, maybe desert people sometimes disagree.
There's salt in the air, and the cries of the gulls and the skuas, grit of the sand and the green glint of broken bottles. But still your gaze always returns to the dazzling streaks of light, wherever they may be reflected, their fading opulence.
It's bringing us spring, summer. It's entirely on our side, no matter what we do or who we are, for absolutely no reason. It's unlike no other powerful being, certainly no powerful organization or government. How can that be? No. And it will outlive them all.
Here we go. 2 different approaches to cap this off with style.
That it does. But then, we are also enemies to our enemies, eh? And so she shines on us. The cops and the commies, the killers and the saints. You know, the wind's going to pick up soon, and I have to go, but... Have this. The sun's good, but it doesn't stick things. I've no use for it anymore. No. Men around here are too drunk to pose a threat to me. Doubt it. But thank you for the company.
This is as far as it goes with her. You'd need to put a year between you and your last drink for anything more.
Farewell.
As she walks off, the wind picks up, and the light from the sun seems to fade. The crumbling silhouette of failed electrical R&D towers. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a scent. You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also you can't. Ever. At least you can think about opening it. An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by... You rattle the... An old door, worn by... You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by... You can't. An old door, worn by... You rattle the handle. An old door, worn... You rattle... An old door, worn... You can't... An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by... You rattle the handle. An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by... You can't... An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. You This medicine cabinet is
Hi again, gendarme. Admiring the atmosphere. What about you, officer? A bit too dramatic, don't you think? If you really must do it, then I'd go with something else, some other substance. But then again, you're a cop. It definitely fits the genre. I fit the genre. We all do. Molded by fiction like we're characters in some bad novella. Human psychology is definitely lazy. Don't. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Give me a moment.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Ooh.
She does have eyes.
Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it? Can't you? I haven't really. Yeah? Thanks.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the... This coin-operated viewer is facing. The metal feels cold. A thick. That's Kuna under the graffito. You know this to be around the large wooden building. This coin-operated viewer is. Your money disappears. The curtains on the display. The lenses. It looks as if it was. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind. It's not possible to know from this distance. The details are blurry. There's water vapor in the way, and waves cut. The little brave birch tree seems to wave. The trap is full of locusts. Poor things.
I see you haven't left our little Martinez yet. Still running around. Like some kind of cross-country law official. Aye. But don't let it grow too much. This is not the place to settle down. Now, what's on your mind, Officer Harry? Oh? Who? Okay. When did this person stay here? Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Really? Are you sure you're not also looking for Nadia Harnancourt? Or Ignis Nielsen? Or the great lost city of Ace under the waves? A lot of stuff. Oh, there's plenty missing, but that's too much for even an eager terrier like you to handle, although you seem very thorough. Tell me, instead, is there something else I can help you with? Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? An installation. Us poor people are stupid and don't get installations. All I see is a heap of trash. This actually calls for a funeral, I think. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all? Why odd?
Life World. Someone's been reading up on last century Gottwaldian philosophers.
Oh yeah? Take it from someone who's been...
It's going to be quite a few years.
I understand, but daydreaming...
It's getting... The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest. The place feels almost like home now, quiet and dignified around you. A new life by the seaside. You're incredibly tired. The darkness and warmth come fast. You're falling asleep.
It's easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found a comfortable indent in the pillow. Your legs and your torso feel like lead weights sinking to the bottom of the sea until they're suddenly light.
This respite, you've earned it, brother. Bask in the darkness. Let it swallow you up and swivel you around while you forget everything you've managed to remember. No, this is the one before that. We'll just keep cycling it for you if you don't mind. As long as we can. Spin it like black yarn.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
You're welcome, Harry boy. You earned it.
After centuries of darkness, the alarm rings. But what's this? You actually feel rested. There's no time to cuddle with your pillow, however, or as much as shiver from the cold. The world awaits.
behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut and half sunken in sand. The metal doors are heavy and the flaking rust hurts your palms. But together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide them open just enough to squeeze in.
Good work. Shall we?
This isn't just glass. These, yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were cast in glass, slides with an inlaid nervous system. The how was a closely guarded secret. The why is easy, because they hadn't...
So it is. I think it is used to form a single system, slotted in the wall. The rest of the building seems to have been picked clean. These? No. These are old filament memories. I hope you're not expecting to find that device here. You will be disappointed.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted. Years worth of... Someone crouches, heels dig...
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
rises again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. No, but you are the sensitive one.
It's not a quib. The situation is dangerous. He trusts your gut feeling on this.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace, and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
He just can't be sure. Maybe it will yield something useful.
Yes. There won't be time for that once things go down. Matter of fact, I don't think there's time for it now, but...
If you must.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word, officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range is screaming directly into your neural pathways. No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing. It's the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break you loose.
The Pale? It's the end of the world. I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too, as she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not cops, and of herself merely as prey.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Damn this!
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but she can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe. Be careful when you make your move. That'll be it for questions. Bide your time.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised. So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there now. Hardy for one.
This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultra-high frequencies.
as her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Titus and his boys, man. They told us you were on the coast.
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is trying to make a clean cut of telling her she was betrayed.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by? Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
I considered her a good friend, yeah. Oh, so that's where you were going with this. That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us, and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly, occasionally shaking from the pain.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it.
Clausia only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
Seriously, just move on.
Really?
Is that blood on the ground before you? Are you...
Yeah, really? She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on. I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on. I'm not following your clever insinuations, Detective. If I want to stare at a pretty girl, I can pick one up at a bar. Or, worst case scenario, look at a naughty photo. Who has time to go skulking about the whirling, drilling holes in walls? What the fuck, man? She's everyone's type. She's your type. Are you sure you're not the one who is excited about the peephole?
She's beginning to suspect you've broken into her lorry now.
Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when she walks into the room, and very difficult to look away. But travel enough and you realize, for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable. Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy.
By the way, DeLorean tragedies are still held in high regard for innovation in language and motifs. They are also known for overwrought emotion.
What the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've gotten worse.
Her hand slipped from the dial of the compressor for a moment, almost turning it down. Then she put her hand back. Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer. Go ahead. It's your body.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but I don't think she's perjuring herself.
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do. You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me, and definitely not a reason to off someone. I'm listening. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me. Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They always do. I've driven a lot of long haul and chugged a lot of beer, man. Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder. And anyway, that wouldn't have been enough time. Look, fuck you, man. I might also—
She speaketh truth.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain. No. Not since I was 14 and hanging out in the only diner in Dardun. Haven't been into low-risk, no-reward games since moving to the city. Why? Yeah, and probably some ghosts from the time of the suzerain. I'm not really interested in supernatural mysteries. The fuck do elevators have to do with anything? Not particularly. I'm not really into old shit for old shit's sake.
God damn it!
So you know she's not an antiques enthusiast. Not my jurisdiction, man. But it also doesn't sound like she used that secret route at all.
Don't know it, but also—
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
the shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
And? Never really got into weapons trafficking. Especially not old weapons. They break too often, and you don't want unhappy customers among gun collectors. The gun store. Trigger-happy jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal. Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
Yeah, evidence. Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Clausia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Clausia. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival. Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar. No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style. So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on. I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too. No, I did not. So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
Maybe twist the knife, just in case. Make her more desperate.
Yeah, that figures. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
She's more upset than she lets on.
That's your prerogative. Drugs don't make people abuse them. Hopelessness does. As for the drug trade, it would continue with or without me. I like to think that my efficiency as an organizer has at least prevented some internal conflicts.
She's proud of her organizational abilities even now, and trying to raise that pride as a bulwark against the desperation.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
You good?
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum. Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum. Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity. She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a cornered animal, a leader with no one to lead. She still wants to retain some control of the situation.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasia comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea. Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise. She lied to you about that, too.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop.
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Everyone in Jamrock, the cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the take. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both. Of you? No, not really. You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. She still perceives you as a threat. Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway? Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either. One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Minot. We could either take a room here in the whirling or go home for today. Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
Friction, lock, set.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road, but then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me. What bunker? Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Keep calm. Breathe in. After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer. Did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
All good, officer. Be careful.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it. Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes it is.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options. You know. This is how you talk her out of it. It's the only scenario in which she lives. She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity. Then something shifts in her. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Good call. I would have done the same, had I not been incapacitated.
He couldn't take it like you. It irks him. Then he gets over it.
Her tent. We should check it out.
plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She's used to camping out. The tent looks old but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled-up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. The large cursive, perhaps too confidently. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Short, wry observations of people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. The way some of those question marks trail off into ellipsis, she was going through a tough time. Staff issues, always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable. Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it. That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th. Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, Isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly. The call was a courtesy. He must have held her in high regard to personally tell her he knew about her plan to run drugs for the competition. The most recent entry is from today. It reads, "Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning."
It looks like she might have been framed.
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting, he thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does, especially if she has problems with the Madre. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting. His trust is well placed. You aren't. You can feel it.
Claudia was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or... maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on her. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should... Yes? What about me? Good.
The dome-shaped plastic boy bobs up and down in the water amidst the trembling reeds. The ajar latch still exhibits the emptiness within. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. A shot...
Well, damn.
Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCA.
A row of ghostly shades facing the crumbling wall, with another 7 shades standing 10. A cold... There's some tear, an empty cigarette package. An old door worn by elements.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
No, detective. It is not. We really should get to the whirling in rags. No.
Goodbye. Yo, man. What's on your mind? Yo, man. What's on your...
Welcome back.
Good morning, comrade! Yeah?
Yes, what is it?
Just up ahead. Danger. You are prepared. Don't put away your friend, your weapon. The barrels of your Villier's 9mm pistol shine threateningly in the cold spring light.
Yes, I hear commotion. Let's go.
Good. Be ready to take them.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning. Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right? Shut up! Not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Courty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street? This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like this. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
He is facing overwhelmingly superior firepower, and he knows it.
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
Fuck, there's the third one. How did we miss something like this?
This third one, he is the most dangerous of them all, heavily armed.
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene. The Mercenary Tribunal. If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
Pig fuck!
Oh, people are gonna die today. We're not leaving it like this. These tribals hung him up for everyone to see.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
She doesn't seem to understand the severity of the situation. With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. Suddenly, the grip of your sidearm feels comforting and warm in your hand. Feels like it's saying, do it. Shoot him in the mouth. Shoot him before he shoots you. No, wait. It's good you have that gun. It really is. Just soften him up first. Present an argument. Even if it comes to a fight, it's always a good idea to drag it out first. Get under his skin. I don't know about this getting under his skin. What if he gets under yours? I'm barely keeping your hand from trembling here. Alright, here we go. This is an illegal tribunal. Krenner would never sanction this. Who's the commanding officer? Take your pick. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
I am a Grinnell Major with over 15 years of live combat experience. When my colonel gets hanged by clay monkeys, I lead the platoon on a retaliation strike. Nah, I just have the biggest gun.
Technically, the other man has the biggest gun, but we're beyond that now.
King Reaper. You're right, but you see, I want it to end in bloodshed.
Okay, it's not much, but he's thinking about something else, and his hand is off the gun. This did something. Easy now. Tell them these men didn't do it. There's a peaceful way out.
Yeah? Who did that?
Time. You had time to fuck around in that church, to run errands for your Union chief. I saw you.
Time is up, Loincloth. Give me a name. Now! How fucking convenient.
His fingers are twitching. That's a draw reflex. He's about to draw.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? What if I just shot one of your pals here, right now, huh? How about the kid? Tell me, it's a magic fucking sniper one more time.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court-martial won't decide who...
The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him, all together. Titus said we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud, in a public place.
You're lying. DePaul heard it.
A Kiel Model 40 revolver, 8 rounds in the barrel. The gun slowly sways in his hand from the inebriation.
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the Hardy Boys yell something. The young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot has flown over her head, crashing a small pane of the glass window behind her.
I missed.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him. They said it was a good way to end a Sunday night.
That doesn't sound good. You need to change the topic now, or there will be another shot. What topic? Shots have been fired. Act before it's too late. This was a close call.
Yes. So what? Didn't sound like nothing. Sounded like you were about to break into a sermon. Was that it?
Enough already! What is this? We didn't come here to fucking chat!
Interrupt me again and I will execute you on the spot, Lance Corporal.
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude, the killer, Owen Cloven. He doesn't talk much.
All of you cunts inside out. Rip you open.
Perhaps it's for the best. Him not talking too much.
The gunner. The raddest. The killer. What do you think he does?
There, on the rim of Owen Cloven's helmet, you count little stick figures. 19, 20, 21. About 50 little stick figures, all of them black, plus 2 little white ones in the end. These men served in Seminai, the native islanders.
That's right. Plenty of kips here in Revachol, too.
T, let's fucking do it.
Team.
Easy. Easy now.
You think I care what that company cunt thinks? She's gone, you stupid fuck! Sailed off 5 minutes ago. She doesn't give a shit about you, Silos.
Stay cool! Don't do anything stupid!
The company bitch is gone. Laylee's gone. Fuck are we still doing in this shithole?
Guys, I just get in the way. I don't even have a gun!
Hold your ground! Any more of you run, I'll shoot you myself. We're doing this together.
They're huddled close in a formation. Still, the rest will stay, even if it means dying here with him.
Who the fuck is that?
Glacier, the woman upstairs. Where is she?
She left!
Unarmed, hunched, but keeping it together.
What am I doing? My fucking establishment is under fire! You know how much windows cost? She left! Her room's cleaned out! Right before these assholes showed up!
We should have arrested her.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one!
She's gone. Forget about it now. Concentrate on this. dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth. He has to start it.
Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut to the ground.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his armor click softly. Click, click, click. The realization comes to you like a picture puzzle coming together. His name is Raoul Cortiner. The dead man's name is Elise Cortiner. He's brothers with the deceased.
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer, you're all sentenced to death by lead.
He sways from left to right, inspecting you.
He wasn't my fucking brother. We just grew up on the same farm and got beat into place by the same sick fuck. Same fucking mud hut town, too.
Okay, good. He sways from...
He wasn't my fucking... You don't know shit! Lance Corporal, why don't you?
You lost him. Quick, don't let him finish the sentence. He sways from left...
He wasn't my fucking... Same fucking mud hut.
Okay, good.
Our colonel did what he had to do. It was either one cunt or 100 of them. Rude here.
In your ship pipes, right in the fucking...
He likes to fire mortars at random coordinates. Wipe out mud huts like that. When he gets bored, Lady knew how to command.
He was a good commander. I can see you miss him.
Oh yeah, he would have commanded this fuckhell way better than I did. But that didn't happen, because Hayseed Bill and Kipty the Kipt here fucking murdered him. Had him stink the village up for 2 weeks after. And you folks didn't.
Listen, man. We told you we...
Told us what? What did you say? Who said that? Tattoo fuck! You'll die first! Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucks up and put a baby's eyes on a grown man. It was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like. I just know how to mow down cloths. Who? Laylee.
We researched him. We contacted the ICP and looked at his birth records. That was in there. And other things.
They fucking put Laylee in a leaf compactor. And now these cunts finished the job.
It's a mindfuck, Corty. He wasn't put in a leaf compactor. They're making it up to fuck with us. Major, permission to...
Open fire. We can't have that. Interfere now.
Fuck do you mean, talker?
We've heard testimony. People say he was charismatic, a nice guy to be around.
Yeah, he liked to chat up the natives. Share leaflets. Squeeze a bit of kip-tass here and there. Great fucking idea that turned out to be. If Laylee was here, he would spare the lot of you. Maybe shoot one for show. But me, I'm not a big fan of public affairs, Clay Monkey. I'll gun every one of you down for what you did.
Ready to open fire, Major. At your command.
Find his killer. Cop. His killer. stands right there, shitting his pants, and you're standing in the way, protecting. I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die for them. Right here.
Big talk, but that leaf compactor won't leave his mind anytime soon. It's a small thing, but it got him off center.
What's the matter, loincloth? Mouthful of dick. Think I'm gonna fucking spare you?
Shit, this is it. Tell him anything. Tell him you have more information.
Rude. Kill him.
The porcelain man raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His hands are steady, and the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly. An Easter AR-FA-7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate you. You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rude's mask behind it, his eyes in the slit of the helmet, like a camera lens, focusing on you. 0.6 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip of the thick barrel, like a honeycomb. This is a knock cannon. It shoots 6 rounds in one pull of the trigger. Absolute destruction. God, you're so frail. Too frail to think further. Time is running out. From the corner of your eye, you see the lieutenant raise his pistol and aim it at Rude. He's trying to find a straight line of sight before the rifleman can take you out. It's not easy. He has 0.4 seconds to do so. He won't make it. You're on your own. You leap left. A swarm of angry lead passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your coat. Feels like the lightest of tucks. The man tilts his head, trying to see through the clearing smoke for the next shot. Watch out. To your left, DePaul is about to take a shot too, at Kim.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. An extremely difficult shot. 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you. Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest, point blank. Then the man squeezes the trigger. A look of happiness. His eyes seem unnaturally bright, shining like stars. Something in the fear must distort him somehow. Here it comes. Death. You simply blink, then something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark, a distant blur as you recede into it. The Hardy Boys are yelling. Someone is running, jumping over you. In the background you hear gunfire shatter glass, and then a man in pain. It's Titus with a splat like meat. You hear bullets rip into him. His voice, still giving orders, grows fainter. A gurgle. Feels slick and warm with blood. The pain is too strong to know what has happened there. Even clutching to your consciousness takes everything you got. Most of what's down there. You can also feel the bone where the bullet went in. Something very sharp, like broken teeth under your fingers. Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them, like a hellish play.
You're bleeding out. Yes, keep talking. Stay awake. Look at me.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And the cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away, almost gone, when suddenly you sense something behind him. A shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising his pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands. Scream immediately. He's gonna die. No, you say, and hand out your firearm to him. Your hand trembles and your eyes are full of fear. That's all it takes. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant moves like a spring unloaded. He grabs the gun from your bloody hand, and you hear a roar of pain, a death scream. The sound disappears like someone pressed stop on the tape. The hulking figure, too, is gone, and so is Kim, and the whole world.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door. Of course. I know you do. Everybody leaves when they get the chance. Go on, keep falling. Deeper. Take the door.
He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours, hurting, moaning in his sleep, and rotting, and being disinfected, and smelling of drugs, and feeling saliva in his mouth, drifting in painkillers, thrashing in his wound sleep.
He can't go, not before the case is solved. There is a radio in the distance, a radio of the world, playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon you will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call.
The engine of a Caprice Kinema.
No, it was him. He is the infernal engine. Can't you see? He never stops. He only gets worse.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain.
Sunrise, Parabellum. What happened? We tried to take the diplomatic route and hoped they wouldn't attack first. They did. The Major gave the command. As retaliation, their rifleman tried shooting you. He missed, or you dodged. Then I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. Glenn did not survive. Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo died before they made it to intensive care. Titus died in the hospital. Yesterday. Alain and the young musician, I forget his name, they are all that's left. Yes. You were bleeding out by then. You warned me. I was able to disarm Cortana before he got the jump on me.
Thank you, although...
I was not able to kill him, as I should have. Crenel took him. A stray bullet killed the Pole, though. And that's what happened. This is the one. He's in a private hospital across the river. Crenel claimed him from the local butcher shop where Titus died. Turns out he's insured. We won't get to him anymore. The good news is he's not coming here either. I did some damage. Yes. 4. Glenn, Theo, Angus. The fat one. He took a lot of bullets. And all. Yes, officer. 7 people are dead. It's not a success. But what's done is done. The violence is cordoned off. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized. Yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Drouamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
Drouamine? Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under the counter bad.
Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day. 2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Drouamine and curse. And drink water. Yes, the joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it off.
The close proximity of death must have made the lieutenant contemplate his life choices. He's done with the jacket.
Sunrise Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying.
Isn't that written on your...
Cops like it. The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely. Pity? No need to take it back, Lieutenant Yefrater. You wanted things to go south outside. That's okay, we all do from time to time. They haven't, though. Yet. Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. The outer side, thankfully, no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome. We will see.
If it's possible, then by pure willpower alone, you are going to have to become a psycho-locomotor.
Good. You'll need to be. Whatever that is. No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man lights a cigarette. Jean Vicmer is his name. The asphalt vanishes under the wheels of the machine. Ahead, Harbor cranes rise to the sky. Back to that shithole, he says.
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site. I'm sure they're worried about you.
That means he hasn't seen them around while you were out. They're not really worried about you. If they were, wouldn't they be here?
I don't know.
He may have some idea, but he's not gonna get into it with you.
I did. No need. Not very. I have a concussion from the Major beating me with the butt of his gun. I try to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see him coming. Stupid of me. Easy now.
Your balance is way off. You feel like you're about to fall over on that thing.
How are you? Your disco days should have been done quite a while back, Lieutenant Freighter. I honestly don't know. We can't talk to Everard. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now, and Joyce has left too. Yes, she left yesterday morning, to meet the board of Wild Pines, or that is what I've heard. There's a pin somewhere in the machine that keeps Connell from sending in a death squad. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone, and Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know? Guard confirmed she left 20 minutes prior to the tribunal showing up. I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else outside our circle of suspects, was right. It better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect. Don't be narcissistic. Half the cops in Revachol West are his peonies. Even if you are, it is not a decisive factor in this case.
That does make some sense.
What? Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to keep everything.
He's wrong.
Okay. I don't know. That's been there for years. Yes, God cursed the footprints, not solving the case for us. Au diable. We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else?
See? There's that. You can do ballistics.
It's extremely easy. There are thousands lying around. We found one, all completely unusable. It's precisely how easy it is to find one that makes the bullet useless. We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them. I'm afraid we may not be able to locate communism, Detective, on account of it being dead.
A nod. He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
I'm listening. I'm ready to hear what you think about solving crimes. Really? Because to me, it seems solving crimes is hard. Are you ready to limp? Good. Where do you want to limp to?
A gust of wind blows in from the bay. The duraluminum box around you vibrates imperceptibly. A familiar cold, a red thread on the roof upstairs. Taut, plucked like a string by the gut.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know.
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fresh.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night. Back there on the plaza?
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note. A few lines jotted down in large, uneven. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift up.
A gift? I am not drawing my gun, yet. But I don't like gifts.
He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively toward his holster. Relax. Not everyone is out to trap you.
It's hardly surprising.
You look at her rough, jagged handwriting on the note. She was in a... The medicine pity.
Mm-hmm. She said...
You clearly see footprint.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here.
You see the same two neon-lit
This is ballistics.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point the island in the bay.
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point. I remember. She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass.
She had a long time to think about it after, standing on that roof.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her? I find that hard to believe, but at this point, what difference does it make? So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
I just haven't gotten a lot of sleep this past few days.
He doesn't really believe this will yield anything. There, across the grey water, amidst crumbling concrete, a birch tree, and the half-sunken ruins of a flak tower.
Could be the makings of a sniper's nest.
Why not? Military fortifications are made for that kind of thing.
Okay, let's go to the fucking island. How do we get there? Joyce Messier had her sloop, but she's gone. Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
A red thread runs through the neon-lit shapes of a man and a woman.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you. You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment. Defended maybe putting it a bit generously, though. I had a great view of you doing nothing to stop those psychopaths. Then I crawled inside. Bullets started flying. Anyway.
He really wants you to realize that he was also on the balcony.
I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. Oh, you know, people don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out they're not good for business. I don't remember everyone who comes here, and many people wear sunglasses inside lately. Yeah, I was, yeah.
It really took courage. Don't pick at him. He nods back at you. Just two badass men make that three. The lieutenant is nodding too, hands crossed.
No problem.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood, and this was Cindy the Skull. The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. And blood. Some of it is even yours.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable? The fuel oil catches fire immediately with an ominous hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the letters. Black smoke rises from the burning message. The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your face illuminated by the flames and nods silently. Then,
let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of mazout and springtime. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Something is wrong. Only static. No reply. Only the...
It's been this way for a while now. My guess is the Union is listening in on our conversation. It only happens when someone mentions the attack. The rest is unaffected. No more dangerous than stepping... I don't like it either, but you can try...
Everything sounds okay. In the cabin, you see a...
My man, you're alive. Almost. Kind of. Sort of alive? Man, what a day. I missed out on most of the action, but I heard it was quite the encounter. So what's next? You guys heading back to Jamrock now? Talk is local union muscle we're behind. Good luck with that, my man.